No, love, go back.
No, I'm coming with you.
That's it.
You okay?
Yeah,
Go! We're right to pass.
All right, Hudson. It's over.
Well, I don't reckon she told you anything. I think you're a bloody liar.
Well, how else would I know about your plot to get Ferguson or Latham's little fire in the library?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I don't see the point to all this, Bea. That bitch Ferguson is going to get you for assault. Bang goes your parole. You're in for life anyway. What have you got to lose?
I've got nothing to gain either.
Well, I don't know. You might have. I might be able to get you a bit of remission if you help us. Look, Latham says that she didn't light the big fire in the storeroom. Who did you get to do that?
What? Look, you lost me about 5 miles back. Okay. I got Chrissie to light a fire to keep the screws away while I got the freak, but that's it. If there was a second fire, I don't know who lit it.
All right, Bea, but they're going to find out eventually. And in the meantime, you'll be charged with arson and murder. So if I were you, I wouldn't make any plans for the next 50 years. Got them both. Smith and Latham for arson and murder.
So your plan worked then?
I think so. Smith admitted that she told Latham to light a diversionary fire while she had a go at your officer, Ferguson.
I see.
Now, both women are being taken to solitary. Leave them there. I'll be back tomorrow. I want to get this third person involved.
Do you still think it's Gaffney?
Yes. I'm just working on the best way of proving it.
How much longer am I going to be kept in the damn pound?
Until you cool down.
Well, you're wasting your time, because nothing is going to stop you from getting that bitch for lagging on me.
You get put straight back in every time.
Yeah, well, I don't give a damn. We're going down for arson and murder, and I'm not letting her forget it.
Try and settle down, Lawson.
No, that's right. Settle down, keep your mouth shut, and everything will be all right. Is that what you used to tell Andy?
Look, I know you're upset, but carrying on like this is not going to help.
Oh, don't patronise me.
Get the uniforms, Mrs. Barfield. Now, you listen to me, young lady. You just remember who you're talking to, or you lose remissions before you even get through that door. All I did was help Andy.
Yeah, you bloody well helped. He had no choice. He had to escape. And now you're going to stand by and watch while I beat him to a pulp all over again.
Come on, Lawson, that's enough. Colleen.
Val! Oh, good heavens. What are you doing here? I'm sorry, it's past visiting hours.
She's not a visitor, she's a guest. Take Lawson to the showers.
Theft? Yeah. So, how have you been?
Fine. Knew each other years ago.
Oh, you've no idea what a relief it is to find you here. I'm scared stiff.
Well, you haven't got long. You should be all right.
Would you like me to take over, Mrs. Powell?
No, thank you. I'll take her through the showers and then to the other women.
Fine.
Follow me. Well, this is someone you already know. And this is Valerie Jacobs.
God, didn't expect to see you back. Paddy.
What are you doing back in here, love?
5 weeks, according to the magistrate.
What for?
Well, I guess you heard Andy escaped from the hospital.
Oh, we heard somebody had gone.
Well, not anymore. He's back here now. Don't know how long he'll last, though.
Got you involved on the outside, did he?
I'm really not in the mood, so don't push your luck, Gaffney.
Come on, love, tell us what it's about.
Well, Andy found me at the house. It was going to be all right, you know? We talked things over with Judy and, well, she convinced Andy to give himself up.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with you?
Well, just as we were going to ring the cops, that bloody Tony Berman was down the road doing it for us. Andy didn't have a chance to give himself up, so he had to make a run for it.
But didn't Tony know that Andy was going to give himself up?
Oh, who knows? He just didn't want an escapee in the house.
Oh, it can't have been that simple.
He found it bloody simple enough.
Yeah, well, I'd like to know what really happened.
Andy and I are both back inside. Isn't that good enough for you?
No, it's not. Hold it, Maxie. What you say your name was again, love?
Valerie.
You can give more than your name, rank and serial number in here, you know, love.
She's a mate of Powell's, that's who she is.
A screws mate, eh? Colleen and I knew each other ages ago. Sounds like you had the sense to let that friendship slip. We just drifted apart, I suppose.
We should be so lucky.
Why, don't you like her? We got a real raw one here, girls.
Powell's a screw.
One of the worst.
So you better forget the fact that you and her knew each other. People inside don't like screw lovers. Just ask my boyfriend. Be lucky to stay alive this time.
Did you get Jacob settled in all right?
Yeah. Bit of a shock. Didn't expect to find her in this place.
Nothing about your deep and dark past she might expose, is there?
No, of course not. Still, it's a very difficult position to be in.
Yes, I know. I've got a bit of a problem myself.
Andy Hudson.
Yeah. Lawson was right. He is not going to survive in here.
Can you organise a transfer?
I hope so. He clobbered an officer when he escaped from hospital, so he's managed to make himself unpopular all round. I've got to talk to him in a minute. I don't think I'll get too much of a reception.
Good luck.
Thank you.
I see Paddy Lawson's back.
Don't I know it?
Oh, is there something wrong?
An old friend of mine came in with Lawson.
Oh dear, I don't envy you that.
Oh, I haven't seen her for 18 years or so. She introduced me to Patrick. Bit of a competition between Val and me.
And you won?
I don't know how I'm going to handle this, Meg.
Well, how long's she got?
7 days, petty theft. Well, it was bad enough when you were in for 72 hours.
Yes, for all of us.
Wonder what Patrick will say.
She still awake, Cam?
Oh, they're having a great time.
Look, I don't feel like going home by myself tonight. Why don't we go out and have dinner?
Why don't we? As far away from this place as we can get.
It's a deal. Come on, let's go and lock the women up and then we can go.
Where are Chrissie and Bea, Mrs. Powell?
I'm sure you can live without them for a night or two.
A night or two? God, what happened?
Come on, Lizzie. Remember the doctor told you not to get too excited now. It's all right. Just calm down. Bea's going to be fine.
Just come on, hurry up, please. Lights out in a minute. Mrs. Morris, will you seat the others?
Right.
Mrs. Powell, do you know if Andy's all right?
Yes, I believe so. He'll be on his own tonight.
Thank God for that.
Not much privacy in here, is there? Thank heavens I've only got a few days.
What are you doing in this place in the first place?
Oh, got unlucky, I suppose.
But what's wrong? What made you steal from a department store?
Well, I'm not the only one. They all walk out with a few souvenirs when they knock off.
It's so risky.
Yeah, well, you know me, Valerie Jacobs, thrill seeker.
Bit different when you end up inside as a result.
Yeah, well, I've realised that.
Do the other women know you know me?
That girl, Paddy, realised when I came in.
Yes, well, I'd keep it very quiet. Just for your own sake.
Yeah, well, things have already been said.
Just be careful.
I will. Thanks, Colleen. Knowing you're here makes it a hell of a lot easier.
If you upset the other women, there is nothing I can do.
What sort of friends did you say you two
That's enough,
were?
Gaffney. Get in. You too.
Are you going to take me back to the others now?
No, you'll be staying here until the morning, Andy.
I guess I better make the most of tonight then.
Look, Andy, I'm trying to organise a transfer for you. You could be going to a prison farm in the morning.
But it's not certain yet.
No. Look, Andy, I thought things had settled down for you eventually here.
Yeah, sure.
Thought if I kept an eye on you, everything would be all right.
Oh, great. You're only here 8 hours a day. What did you think had happened for the other 16?
Look, Hudson, you're still a prisoner here. Don't forget that. I'm doing my best to help you. If you talk like that to the rest of the staff, you'll go and report and you'll never get out of here and there won't be a damn thing I can do about it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, do you think you can swing it?
There's a good chance.
Thanks. Have you seen Paddy?
Mm-hmm.
How is she?
Worried. I'll let you know about the transfer.
Good night.
Oh, sorry about that, Meg. Got caught on the phone.
Don't worry. Was it Patrick?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk to Jennifer and Robert. They are having a wonderful time. They wished I was there, though.
Never hurts a mum's ego, does it?
Oh, it certainly doesn't.
Did you tell Patrick about Valerie Jacobs?
Yes, I mentioned her.
And?
He said to say hello from him. I don't know, Meg. Can't understand it. I had a talk to her before. She doesn't seem to have changed at all.
Oh, is that good or bad?
I don't know. Does let me know how much I've got, I suppose.
Look, if you're going to start feeling sorry for yourself, you can eat on your own.
Sorry.
Come on. It's time we weren't here. Let's go and have a meal.
Right.
Come on, ladies, move it if you want your breakfast.
Oh, we're going as fast as we can. You try sleeping with 8 women and see how much rest you get. Dirty buggers.
Come on, we haven't got all day. Just a minute, Lawson. I just thought you might like to know that Andy's being transferred to a prison farm.
Oh, when?
Later this morning.
Was that your idea?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Hey, Mr. Carlson, we're going to see Chrissie and B at breakfast or not?
No, you're not.
Why not? What happened?
They're both in solitary.
What for?
Well, I may as well tell you before the rumours get out of hand. Smith and Latham are being charged with arson and murder.
On what evidence?
Well, a confession from both of them was enough to convince the police.
Confession? Oh, you're joking.
You asked, and so I told you. Now, come on, move it.
Hey, Mr. Carlson, how about sharing me breakfast with me?
Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. Look, I've told the women about Smith and Latham.
Any trouble?
They're not happy, but no problem so far.
Good. Has Sergeant Farmer been in yet?
No, he hasn't. So I'll leave you to it, eh?
Hey, Mrs. Powell, how long are you going to keep me and Chrissie locked up?
Well, it's their fault that you're all living in these conditions. So how long do you think they should get?
Ugh, this stuff's awful.
No one's died from prison food so far.
Oh, that surprises me. I don't know how anyone's supposed to survive under these conditions.
You've been inside 5 minutes, Jacobs. I wouldn't start complaining.
What's wrong, Colleen? I just meant that...
I know what you meant. And the name is Mrs. Powell. If you can remember that, it'll make your time here a little bit shorter. Now stop complaining and get on with your breakfast.
I laugh. Seems as though your old mate's forgotten what buddies you used to be.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, well, remember, in here, a screw's a screw. We're only the prisoners. You're one of us now.
Well, I thought having a friend inside would be an advantage.
Oh, not in here. You stick with us and then you'll be all right. I'll spread the word around that they're to lay off you.
Thanks.
You heard of Andy's gone yet, love?
They're hardly going to tell me, are they?
Suppose not. I had a chat to that Valerie Jacobs.
Pals, mate?
Ex-mate. She's
Come on,
all
ladies,
right.
make the
I told
most
her
of
lay
it.
off.
A minute ago,
that
you
was
used
big
the
of
out this
you.
afternoon.
No, but then on that sort of...
What are we coming out here for?
Thought you might like one last look at the place, Hudson.
I think I remember what it looks like, sir.
Come on, you won't have too long. Sorry to disrupt the exercise period, Mrs. Morris. Hudson will be leaving in a minute, and I thought we may as well wait out here while reception's being cleared.
It's a bit of a turn-up for the books.
Oh, shut up, Margo. Come on. Leave him alone.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. How about you?
Okay, I guess.
I shouldn't have got you mixed up in all this, Paddy.
Oh, look, it's not your fault, the way things turned out.
Yeah, but I shouldn't have come and seen you in the first place.
No, I'm glad you did. Wouldn't want you going to anyone else.
I'm being transferred.
Yeah, I know. Well, at least you're getting out of here. Oh, it'll be better, Andy.
Yeah.
Hudson.
Bye.
See you later.
These are Hudson's transfer papers. Take him from here, will you?
Mr. Carson. Thank you.
Was it worth it?
Excuse me. Was what worth it?
Whatever you did last night that made you so tired.
Well, Meg and I, we didn't feel like going home to empty houses, so we went out for a meal together.
And where was Mr. Powell and Mr. Morris?
Meg's not with her husband anymore, and mine is away on a camping trip with the children.
Yes, I've heard all about these girls' nights out.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you. It was just a straightforward French meal. It did go on a little longer than intended, though.
We should have a meal together ourselves sometime.
Okay.
I mean, we could get together and talk over a few of the problems we're having with this combined setup.
Might be an idea.
Oh, excuse me, Mrs. Powell.
Oh, hello, Judy.
Hello, Powell.
How are things at the house?
Well, they could be better. I've lost a staff member. Tony's left.
It's a bit sudden, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit. I was wondering, could I see Paddy Lawson?
She also wants to see the people she's been helping since the fire. I was wondering if it'd be all right if she saw them all together.
Well, I suppose if you saw them one by one, it'd take forever. They will have to be checked through, though. Would you supervise her, please?
Of course.
How do you make an upside down cake? Turn it upside down. No.
Well, I brought you some more stuff. I was sure there's the things you wanted.
Oh, Judy, it's good of you to come in and look after us like that. Oh, talc and soap, thank you.
Good day, Judy. Great to have you.
Well, how are you, Paddy?
Andy was moved to a prison farm this morning.
Well, why the sad face? That's good news.
Yeah, I know. It's just rotten being back.
I know that, love, and I won't try and cheer you up by saying it's only 5 weeks.
Good, I'm glad. Hey, listen, there wasn't any trouble at the house, was there, after what we did?
Well, the cops got their pound of flesh by getting Andy. I suppose that'll keep them happy for a while. Tony's gone, though.
Good riddance. Gone?
Yeah, he resigned yesterday.
Pity you didn't do it earlier, bloody idiot.
Steady on, will you, Paddy?
Well, what do you expect? He's working in a halfway house, or supposed to be. And every time something goes wrong, he runs to the cops.
Yeah, well, he must have thought it was the right thing to do.
What's the matter with you, you stupid bitch? Since when is running to the cops the right thing to
Listen,
do?
will you two cool it? We're going to have the screws over here trying to shut us up in a minute. Now, he's gone. Let's just leave it at that, please.
Where's he gone, Jude?
I don't know. I mean, he said he'd keep in touch. Why?
When he came to see me, I was a bit of a bitch. Don't know why. Must have got worked up about all we'd been through, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
But I didn't give him a chance to tell him that I didn't mean it. He's gone away thinking that I hate him.
He doesn't think that, love.
He must. Now it's too late.
Good morning. Mrs. Powell, can I have a word? Have you got a moment?
Yes, of course, Sergeant. Thanks.
I've been thinking about this Molotov cocktail business, and I've got an idea. Do you feel like helping?
What can I do?
Have you got any friends among the women prisoners? Someone who wouldn't mind passing on a bit of information?
Oh. Well, there have been 1 or 2 from time to time, but at the moment... Yes, there could be a possibility. What do you want?
I just want someone to keep their ear to the ground, see what they can pick up.
The women are very tight-lipped about the fire. But this one's new. She wasn't at Wentworth. So I'm not sure the women trust her yet.
Oh, I don't think she'd have much trouble with what I've got in mind.
And what is that?
I want Smith and Latham out of solitary and back with the other women prisoners.
Together? My God! They both think they've lagged on each other. They'd be hell to pay.
Oh, do you think so? Oh. Still, it might not be a bad way to find out who number 3 is, don't you think?
Can I have a word with you, Valerie? First names. Isn't that a bit risky?
Oh, and he told you to be careful in front of the others.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm sorry about this morning. It's just that I was a bit thrown by my first night.
Are the women giving you a bad time?
Just a bit. It's all right now. I think they've accepted me.
Good.
So, what did you want?
Well, I was wondering if you could do me a favour.
Like what?
I suppose you've heard the women talking about the fire at Wentworth.
Yeah, a little. They usually shut up about it if I'm around.
Oh, well, you'll be hearing a lot more about it. There are two women you haven't met yet, B. Smith and Chrissie Latham.
Oh, that Mr. Carson said they were in solitary.
Yes, they are, but they're coming out this afternoon. We know that they're involved. However, there's also a third person involved, and we don't know who that is.
And you want me to find out?
That and anything else the police might find useful. If you're discreet, the women needn't know anything about it.
I don't know what sort of a spy I'll make.
Then you'll do it.
Yeah, all right.
Thanks.
So, it looks as though it's just going to be you and me for the next couple of weeks. Now, I know I should probably have eyes in the back of my head to keep up with some of you, but you will be nice to old Jude for a while, won't you?
Okay. But why did Tony go?
Well, even social workers have problems, love.
So.
Anybody home? I know that voice. Just a minute. Hazel!
Hi, Judy.
How are you, love? Hey, I heard you got out. How you managing?
How do you think? I'm an ex-crim.
You need a hand, huh?
Just for a while. I was going okay. I had a job as a barmaid.
And then someone found out, right?
Yeah. It was only casual, though. Look, I was wondering, can you put me up till I get another job?
Of course I can. Hey, how are the kids?
Still with George and his new wife. That's why I'm determined to get a job. I've got to get the money together to take him to court and get him back.
And you will, too. I'm proud of you, love, because you got a lot of guts.
Well, what about you running this place?
It's a job, you know.
Come on. Can't be easy.
It's not, believe me. Well, what are we standing here for, then? Come on through, meet the girls, huh?
Your girl isn't out the front. Do you mind if I come in with some good news?
Of course, come in, Barry.
Well, I'll get straight to the point. I went around to Driscoll House myself, and I went over the place with a fine-tooth comb.
Yes?
I came up with a list of renovations that would make your head spin.
You don't think they'd be able
No,
to...
don't worry. Even if the department pays, which I doubt, they'd never get it done in time. Driscoll House is finished.
There you are, Latham. Thanks.
What's Chrissie doing back here?
Orders from Mrs. Powell. I'm going to get Smith too.
Have you been charged yet?
Yeah, I've been charged, all right. Bloody arson and murder.
That's what Carson told us, but we didn't believe him.
What evidence have they got?
Straight from the horse's mouth.
What do you mean?
Almighty bloody bee has lagged.
Oh, come off it. Who told you
The
that?
bloody cops told me that,
Oh,
so...
you know they'd say anything.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, till I found out just how much they did know. They asked her questions first, and then they knew everything.
Bloody hell. Oh, but I still don't believe that she'd do that.
No, neither do I.
I'm telling you, it's the truth. Well, what are you going to do? Oh. A new one, eh? Well, Ducky, in here, nobody lags on another prisoner. The rest of us don't like it, do we?
No.
Well, we all know what we've got to do. So, are you with me? Or do I have to bash her on my own?
Yeah, well, as a matter of fact, we've had a lot of problems of our own. We might even lose the halfway house.
Why's that?
Someone's been complaining. We had the health inspectors out here, went over the place with a fine-tooth comb, and then said we didn't meet the health regulations. Cost a fortune to fix it up. Thanks, girls. Well done.
What sort of money are you looking at?
Thousands? I mean, we'll never be able to do it. If I could sort out my finances in the States, I'd pay for it myself. But, you know, my money-grubbing relatives are still contesting my father's will.
Well, Jude, sorry to interrupt. What are you going to do about the house?
Well, there's nothing we can do. I suppose if we lose this place, we'll just have to get a cheaper place.
Cheaper?
Well, it's better than nothing, isn't it?
I've been racking my brains trying to think of how to get around the council. Do you reckon that health inspector was being really fair?
All I know is that the same council came twice. And maybe the first guy overlooked things. You know, he was a nice guy, but that second creep.
We thought of going to the state health department.
Well, wouldn't they say the same thing?
Not if it's a setup.
But what could they do if the Wentworth Council already laid down the law?
Overrule them.
You reckon?
They'd have to.
Sounds worth a try, Jude.
Sure it does. Thanks, Sarah. You know, I've always said that every halfway house should have a law student. Haven't I always said that? Yeah, I've always said that, Sarah.
I see. I'm on my own, am I?
Stay around, we could have trouble.
I thought you were smarter, Latham. Obviously, I was wrong. You were just plain bloody stupid.
You didn't make a bad job of that yourself, did you?
Go on, keep going. You can't make things any worse for yourself. You're already dead for lagging to the cops.
Me? Huh. And it about time you started practicing what you preach. I've already told them what you are anyway. Prize bloody leg. Stop it!
That's enough, Smith. You're on a charge.
Oh, goody. What are you going to do? Throw me in jail?
You bloody bitch. I'm never going to get near my kid now.
Come on, you're going to solitary.
You bloody bitch. I'm going to lose custody, Pete. It's all your fault, you bloody bitch.
And what did you hope to achieve by that?
I hope to smash her face in. What do you think?
Why? You both seem to be accusing each other of the same thing.
Yes, we did, didn't we? So what happens now?
You started the fighting. I have no choice but to lock you up.
Fair enough. You give me a chance to think. As a matter of fact, I want to do quite a lot of thinking about what's going on in this place.
Well, thank you very much. And you'll contact the Wentworth Council? That's great. Yeah, thanks. Thanks again. Bye. It is.
What do they say?
Well, they reckon that the regulations put by the Wentworth Council were pretty petty. I mean, they could have held us to all that small print, but they decided not to.
Oh, fantastic.
That's great, Judy.
Well, don't thank me. We wouldn't have had a roof over our heads if it wasn't for Sarah.
It was nice to do the right thing for a change.
Hey, don't you underestimate yourself. Well, things were looking pretty black till you came up with that suggestion. I think we're all grateful, aren't we, girls?
There's nothing to tell, Mrs. Morris. I'm being charged with arson and murder.
So is B.
Well, why did she have to put me in as well? I'm never going to see Elizabeth now.
How do you know she lagged?
Because the cops told me, that's why. They had all the bloody details. I didn't tell them anything they didn't know. And then B, she comes the heavy with me just to cover up. She's really shown her true colours now, hasn't she? Well, I'd like to see her keep her position as top dog now.
You try and stay out of trouble, Chrissie. It won't help at all.
What's it matter anyway? I'm never going to get out of this dump now.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Barry.
We've got trouble with this Driscoll house deal.
Oh, but you said it was all set.
Yeah, well, it was, but that woman who runs the place rang the State Health Department, and apparently the minister's in full support of the halfway house project, so we've all been instructed to lay off.
Well, you'll just have to try something else. Public nuisance, improper use of premises or whatever.
Now, anything like that means a court case, and not cheap if it drags out, which they tend to do, Vic.
I don't care. You go ahead with it.
No, can't be done.
Now, listen. You just remember who got you your job. You're in no position to say no.
Well, I'm sorry, Vic, but I mean, if I go ahead with this thing, then I won't have a job left to go to anyway. I'm sorry, you'll have to fight Driscoll House on your own.
Don't worry. I will.
Hey, nobody's got any plans for tonight. I've got a suggestion. Now, we haven't got much food money left, but what about we have a victory party?
Oh, great, I'll be here.
Anybody else?
Yeah.
Well, that settles it then. You two look as though you could use some cheering up.
Morning, all.
Morning. Oh, you look lovely.
Thanks for the dress. Didn't fancy going job interviewing anything I've got.
What sort of job are you going for?
Waitressing. It was in the paper this morning.
Oh, good luck.
Thanks.
Come through. I'll get you a cardigan or something.
Oh, I don't think I'll need anything out, Jude. It doesn't look very cold.
Just want to give you some money for lunch and fares.
Thanks, I could do with it.
$5 enough?
Yeah, plenty. I'll give it to you straight back as soon as I get a job.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to have a bit of a party tonight to celebrate our win over the council. Now, if you get that job, that's an excuse for a double celebration.
Don't want to get my hopes up.
Listen, whatever happens, there'll be other jobs.
Hope so.
Just don't forget your kids, honey.
Yeah. Jude?
Yeah.
Thanks for helping me out.
That's what I'm here for.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How's everything going? Any trouble?
You asked like you're expecting it.
Always on the cards.
What is going on with Bea and Chrissie?
What do you mean?
Well, both are under the impression that they've lagged on each other. Now, maybe I'd believe it of Chrissie, but I doubt it after talking to her. And as for Bea, well, I'm just not prepared to accept it.
Yes, you're right. Neither of them have lagged.
Well, somebody has. Otherwise, the police wouldn't know all the details that they do. Now, both Bea and Chrissie have confirmed that Detective Farmer had his facts straight.
Oh, he has. Straight from Gaffney.
Margo? But why?
Well, he thinks that Margo wants to take the heat off herself, but he's not sure. So he's put Smith and Latham together to find out for him.
Colleen, that's terrible. Sue Bailey and I only just managed to break up that fight yesterday, and now Smith is back in solitary.
Who authorised that?
Well, I did. I couldn't leave them together.
That is the whole idea. Oh, God, get her out of there, but don't say anything.
I can't. It's dangerous. Besides, I think she already has her suspicions.
Good. Come on, that means the plan is working. Just stop worrying, Meg. As long as we keep a close eye on them, nothing can come of it.
Look, I really don't think
Smith is smart enough to know what is going on. Listen, I promise you, as soon as Smith and Latham are back working together again, oh, we'll soon find out who caused that fire. Well, you wasted enough time at breakfast. Let's get to work.
When is Smith coming out of solitary?
She'll be with you later.
Good.
Oh, don't mess with Bea, love. You know you can't win.
We'll see about that.
Jacobs. Anything you want to tell me?
There certainly is.
What have you found out?
I found out exactly what these women do to laggers.
You'll be all right if you're careful, I told you.
Oh, don't give me that. Look, if I dob one of them in, they're going to remember all these times you called me aside. Now, I realise some of these women are not too bright, but you wouldn't need to be, would you? Now, look, if you want to know anything, you can find out for yourself, because you can forget about me doing it right now.
Just a minute.
Look, maybe I'm not making myself clear enough. I'm telling you to go to hell, Colleen.
Oh, hi. Didn't expect you back so soon. Well, we gonna have a double celebration or what? Oh, what happened?
Just missed out, that's all. There'll be other jobs, like you said.
Yeah, that's a pity, love. Someone else get it first, huh?
Dunno. Suppose. I don't really want to talk about it.
You all right?
Yeah. Just a bit disappointed. that's
Hazel,
all.
I told you not to have grog on the premises. Hey, you're drunk, aren't you?
No. I'm all right, really.
Don't lie to me, Hazel.
I was a bit nervous about going to the interview, so I had a few to relax me. That's all.
A few thousand would be more like it. You didn't even go to that interview, did you?
Of course I did.
Now listen, you didn't have any money. Where'd you get the money for the booze? I mean, Hazel, what the hell's going on here?
I wanted that job, Jude. I did. You've been real good to me and I appreciate it.
Well, so what gives then?
I just haven't been able to put a foot right since I got out. I can't hold down a job. There's no point.
I thought you were going to save and get a place for your kids. I mean, doesn't that count?
What's the use? I lost custody of them when I was in the nick.
Well, I know that, love, but... I mean, hell, you go and see them, don't you?
No. George has seen me like this too many times. I've lost access of them altogether.
Okay, B. Have a shower and some breakfast, and then you can go back with the others.
Aren't you afraid I'll attack Chrissie again?
I hope there won't be any more trouble between you two.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Morris. There won't be. I've seen the light.
Me, I'll take her and give up in a minute. I love the machine.
Quick, tell us what happened next.
Well, would you believe the old running out of petrol routine?
Oh, he didn't try that old trick, did he?
No, she did.
You kidding? Tell us what happened then.
Well, she married him, didn't she? Changed her name to Powell.
You mean to tell me he had a chance to try before he bought and he still took her on?
Oh, he must be a bigger mug than we thought.
Come on, ladies, keep this noise down. You've still got work to do out there.
Sorry, Mrs. Powell, we just found something real interesting.
Yes, well, you've had your laugh, so get on with it.
Excuse me, Mrs. Powell, but we were just talking about relationships and stuff, and I was wondering, do you have any tips on how to get yourself a husband?
Keep the petrol tank on empty.
No, but really, Mrs. Powell, do you reckon it'd work?
That's enough.
Well, it sounds real romantic to me.
Oh, I don't know. I think it depends on how many bottles of Spanish rosé you've been drinking, but it ain't too romantic when you're behind a bush in the middle of nowhere.
One more word and you'll all be sorry. Now just get out there.
She's a rosé girl, Maxine.
No.
No, a bit more class. I reckon a couple of bottles of spumantis, she'd be anybody's.
Jacobson. What the hell do you think you were doing?
Just talking about old times. You remember the way things used to be. Anything wrong with that?
You must be joking.
Well, I only told them things you've told against yourself 1,000 times.
To other friends, for God's sakes, not a bunch of prisoners.
Oh, so what? At least they think you're human now, which is more than they did when I first walked in.
Oh, you idiot. They will use that information against me the first chance they get.
I don't think trapping Patrick in the Never Never and having to duck behind a bush is going to do a lot of harm.
That is hardly the point, and you know it. What the hell's got into you?
That's what I want to know. What happened to the girl who used to enjoy a drink and a few laughs?
She became a prison officer. And a bloody good one, too.
Oh, don't give me that. Oh, I know it's a tough job, but don't tell me it's taken all the life out of you.
Well, what do you think working in a place like this does to you?
Well, then get out, Colleen. Get out.
I happen to think it's a very important job. Somebody has to look after people like them.
And like me.
Yes, like you. Listen, not everyone can serve their time easily. Christ, we have just lost 2 women in a fire.
Yes, and you've very carefully sent me up to find out who caused that fire. Thanks very much. I know exactly where I stand now. Mind you, you made it perfectly clear yesterday when you so carefully pointed out that I'm the prisoner and you're the screw. Well, that's fine by me, because as far as I'm concerned, that's the way it stays.
Oh, God, I wonder what she's going to do to Valerie out there.
Did you see him?
Oh,
What a
yeah,
classic.
I reckon that's what we call it. I reckon.
You've got a bloody nerve, haven't you?
Shut up. I want to talk to you.
Don't you think you've done enough talking?
Calm down. We've been set up.
Oh, what's all this about?
Something doesn't ring true at this whole situation.
What do you mean?
You've been told I lagged on you, right?
Right.
I was told the same.
I'm no bloody lagger.
Oh, and I am. Think again. Should have been better than that by now. Anyway, if we were both told that we'd lagged on each other, what do you think that they expected to happen when we got together again? Exactly what happened yesterday.
I don't get it.
If we didn't dob each other in, then someone else must have. And that someone else must also have lit the second fire. She probably put us into the cops to get them off her back.
Well, why haven't they sorted all that out?
I think they have. Partly. And we have been put back together again to do their dirty work for them. We have been set up, Chrissie.
You mean we're working for the bloody cops?
No way. It just means that we are all after the same mongrel.
He used to give me roses. I wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare of waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.